Hey guys, Gary Box here. So I thought I'd take you a little trip down nostalgia lane here and show you a little bit about how it used to be. So back in the days of film, this was kind of the ultimate camera. This is a Hasselblad, and amazing camera. You bought one of these, they were crazy expensive, but they would last for like 20 years. And that's not an exaggeration. So whenever we shot, the film came out like this. Now, one roll of film is 12 exposures on this particular camera. Then they had a longer roll of film that would give you up to 24 exposures. And in my early days, my basic senior session was one roll of film. You got 12 pictures. If you blinked on one, you got 11. If you did my deluxe session, get this, you got 2 rolls of film, 24 pictures. Now, here's the part that might terrify some of you guys. Whenever we got this film finished, like say from a wedding or anything else, we would put it in one of these little plastic containers here and put it in an envelope and drop it off at the post office, and it would go to the lab through the U.S. mail. Yes, through the U.S. mail. And then the pictures would get sent back to us with the negatives about a week later. So literally, we didn't know what we got until a week later. You had to make sure you knew what you were doing because what you shot was what you got. And so, but then whenever the negatives come back, this is the size of one of the negatives right here off of this camera. This is a 2 1/4 square or 6 centimeter by 6 centimeter negative. Now these bigger negatives were easier for retouching. So what they actually did in retouching was they put this under a magnifier and they had little bitty paint brushes and dyes and would actually paint on the negative to retouch it. But then whenever we wanted to make prints, now is another issue. How do we know how this is cropped? Especially from a square camera, you want to order an 8x10. So let me show you. Okay, so after the client ordered, we have our negative here, and how we wanted it cropped was kind of under our control. Thanks to Mark Lane at ACI, he sent me some of the old negative cropping cards. So if we wanted a square print, we would put it on here and we would literally take a piece of masking tape and tape it exactly how we wanted it cropped, just like that. If we didn't want a square print, if we wanted like 8x10s and 5x7s, then we would use a rectangular card like this, and we can move it left or right to control our cropping. And if we wanted to zoom in a little bit closer, we just use a card with a little bit smaller hole, and that would allow us to crop it in closer. And so all of that creativity was under our control even back then as far as how it's cropped. The lab was pretty much responsible for setting all the color for us, though. That was, in those days, that was their job, not just ours. So anyway, I just thought I'd take you a little walk down nostalgia lane and let you see how we used to control our cropping and how our negatives. So we would mail these back to the lab, and then they would print them and ship them back to us. So have a great day.